Anytime I start the wealth conversation, I always talk about my grandmother's home, 808 South Cushman. And this is her beautiful home. She taught us so much, and so many people lived here at my grandmother's home. But today I want to talk about the home that I was actually born in, 817 South Cushman. Significant for a lot of different reasons. Years ago, I wrote down that I will own 808 South Cushman and 817 South Cushman. I want to pause right there for a moment because that's significant. I'm a person of faith, and scripture tells us to write your vision down and make it plain. And so I wrote it down. I knew that these were homes that I wanted to own. And so I began to write these people that owned this home. I didn't know who the owner was, but that owned 817. And I wrote them probably 2 or 3 times and didn't hear back. And then this home actually came on the market. And maybe like 6 months ago, I emailed Ann Curry Homes, and I think Lauren ended up talking to Lauren, and they looked up the owners, but I never really followed up with that. My wife and I, we typically drive by this home. And right around the time it came on the market, we were driving and we saw the owner outside, and I said, hey, we're gonna put together an offer on this home. And I wrote you a couple times. My name is John Gangs, I grew up here. I just wanted to plant a seed. And so many things have happened over the last few weeks, but now today, we're closing on this home.
You guys closed!
Oh, wow!
Congratulations!
Wow.
It's yours!
I told Emily I wanted like a big sign that says just this.
Really?
That's so crazy. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? I'm so
And we were
excited.
looking. This is your grandmother in heaven. Is that cool? Wow. This is so cool.
But it's like official.
Yeah.
We literally just got the call.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess, you know, when you like have faith and you see something, obviously I'm grateful for it, but a lot of like my journey and our journey as a family is about having faith. And so I feel really good that it's here, but like I knew it was going to happen, if that makes sense. So like, you know, the tears and the emotion happened years ago when I felt in my spirit that this would be our home one day. Yeah, so it feels really good. This was our living room. My mom had like plants everywhere. She had a lot of plants coming up the stairs. So when I put an offer on the home, I kind of had a little bit of doubt. Sitting with Emily, my wife, on the couch, and I get this, one of my brothers who always had a video camera before it was popular, like the old school one, I think with a cassette tape. And he would walk around in like the early 90s, and he always had it. My grandmother lived right across the street, and my brother lived upstairs. My siblings lived upstairs, and 2 of my older siblings lived upstairs with my grandma, with like 5 other of my cousins. And then my sister and I, who was 9 and I was 5, but I was born in this home, so I lived here from about born to age 5. We lived here with my mom, and my dad was kind of in and out, but my brother would always come over and record us on the camera. I look like a dark-skinned version of Honora. I was like the same age as her. This video my brother sends me a few weeks back, it's me dancing like right here, and then my mom in the kitchen cooking. And I was just telling Emily that I remember like just really good memories. And I called my brother. I said, did someone tell you that I'm trying to buy that home? He said, no, what are you talking about? I said, man, I just put an offer in on that home. And I literally remember what my mom was cooking in the kitchen. And then it was me that looked like a Nora, the boy version, in dark, dancing here. And yeah, just it's a surreal moment. It's just like a reminder from God that it was supposed to happen. I kind of had doubt. We're trying to build a home. We're not trying. We're building a home right now, going through that process. And so I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but just grateful that God gave that subtle reminder. Yeah. So I danced a lot in here. This was a kitchen. This was before my mom's drug addiction got really bad. So this is why this place is so special to me. This was her room here. And then this was my sister. This was our room, my sister and I. And we had a bunk bed right here. I speak at assemblies a lot, and sometimes I share stories of like when I was a kid and we would hear gunshots, because in the early 1990s, the Hilltop had just really high drug and crime rates, and we would be asleep here on the bunk bed and hear gunshots. And my mom sometimes would come out, she'd open this window, she'd light a firecracker, throw it out, and say, baby, go back to sleep, just firecrackers, and close. The window probably worked the same back then. But yeah, this was my room. I don't remember I don't think it was a laundry room here at that time. My sister and I used to like sneak out back here, which is really cool. I want to show you the deck. It's probably not super safe, but we would just, I remember just sitting back here and we'll look out. Our neighbor downstairs had a lot of, this was the outdoor garden back in the day. So you can see like, and this was like a garden house. And so she had just like these overgrown, just beautiful plants and flowers all back here. My sister and I would sit out here and just kind of look. Yeah, this was our place, man. Here, she was the original owner's first tenant, and she passed away. I think she started renting this place in her early 20s and lived here for like 65 years. And she took my sister and I to like, it was my first and only time going to like the dirt race car tracks. And so I remember that when I was young. Her name was Skip. It literally started with writing it down. I think our dreams happen twice. They happen once in our mind and then once in reality. And so anyone out there that's a dreamer, anyone that has a goal in mind or something they want to do or even something they want to become, I want to encourage you to write it down, because your dream is possible. There's going to be negative things, there's going to be adversity, but your dream is possible. There's a couple things you can do today to make your dream a reality. One, begin to see it. Despite what's going on, despite what kind of roadblocks you have, begin to see it in your head. Begin to say those things. This is a story that you have to tell yourself. This is something I do with my family every single day. Regardless of what we're going through, we know that we can just get back to looking in the mirror and speaking these positive things over ourselves and speaking things as if they're so. We know that eventually they will become true, because whether negative or positive, those things become true. And then two, you have to surround yourself with people that believe in you, people that support you. So with my family, my son, my daughter, and my wife, we believe in each other. Our good days and our, like, despite it all, we believe in each other. And when I tell my wife something, I know that she's going to support it, and I know that she's going to believe it, sometimes even more than I believe it. And then you have to have a team. And that's where Yarrow, you come in, Ann Curry Holmes and Lauren and Ellie, I believe, also has supported me. There's so many people involved, and even Dean, being able to talk to Dean about this process. It's truly a team effort. So one, you have to believe it, and then get yourself a team that also believes it, and then that's how your dream becomes a reality. And so now today, what caused a lot of pain in my life, when my mother passed away, I was 7 years old. I want to fight back for my history. I want to take back what the enemy tried to steal from me. So I'm taking back those memories, because in this life, in the social media era, we have people that live two personas. they act one way on social media and then they're one way in real life. I want to be an example to my kids to always be who you were created to be. I want to be an example to my kids. The most important thing we can do is enjoy the moments because these moments are all we have. I want to be a great example to my kids to create powerful memories. So it was so important for me to go get some of those positive memories that I had with my mother before she passed away. Some of those positive memories that happened in this home. My mother was cooking every day, embracing us and loving us. And so now I get to share those stories with my daughter. I can say, hey, when I was your age, this is where I grew to love my mother. This is the home that I was born in. Because those memories is all I have. And now I get to share those memories with the people closest to me and with the people in the world. The people that are going through some pain and they don't quite see the purpose. If I could just encourage you, if you could see the light in the midst of darkness, if you could just see that light, there's hope. So look to the light. Don't look down, look up and look to the light, because if you can see the light, there's going to be a little bit of hope. And that hope is all you need to make your dream a reality. That hope is all you need to move your pain to purpose. My name is Dr. John Gangs, and that's a little bit of my story. Yeah, so this sign, Push House, I just talked to Emily about changing one of our business names to Push Properties. And so this sign is significant. My mother's name was Yolanda. Her birth name was actually Annette. She didn't like that name. She had a very confident personality. She was confident who she was, and she knew what she wanted. My daughter is very similar in that way. Even my daughter told us the other day that, Dad, I want to change my name one day. I said, okay. Yeah, I said, you can do it, but you have to be 18. And it reminds me so much of my mom, who changed her name, and everyone in the neighborhood knew her by Yo-Yo. So even in high school, just as to remember her, I put that name on my Letterman's jacket. So it has gone with me everywhere that I go. But I want people in this neighborhood. The demographics are totally different than when I grew up. The neighborhood is a lot different than when I grew up. But I want people to know my grandmother's legacy and the things that she built in this neighborhood. So now when they drive by this home, they will know Yolanda Frazier, Yo-Yo's house. So that's the significance of the sign. So thank you so much for the gift. Thank you to Ann, Lauren, the whole Ann Curry team homes. I really appreciate you all. It's been a tremendous process, a lot of effort. I was able to sleep well a lot of nights because I knew I had a great team behind me. So thank you so much.